Hello everyone and welcome back to the world of Thedas. So we just got back from the Deep Roads expedition, which had so many twists and turns, so many eventful things occurred there, and unfortunately Bethany is no longer with us. She's in the circle. I'm so devastated that she is in the circle and she's not going to be with us anymore in our adventures, but hopefully I'll come across her again. I just find it hard to believe that I'll never see her again through the rest of this playthrough. It's just not right at all. But anyway, let's look at our journal and see what we've got. Well, in the main plot section, we have the demands of the Cune. The continued Cunari presence in the city is causing tensions to rise. The Viscount's concern appears matched by the Arishok's annoyance. The root of the problem must be found. Okay, well, we've also got the black powder courtesy, so we need to speak to the Arishok. I think that's the most immediate thing. And then we have all of these amazing companion quests, which I love having companion quests. I love being able to speak to my companions and just talk to them, and I'm going to have great conversations with them, I'm sure. But you know what I really want to do? What I really want to do is I want to go to my new mansion, or so it's called. I just want to know, what does this place look like? And I'm just curious about all these other doors, and
I don't think I can do that.
Probably it's also stealing as well. But now I just want to know, like, how much happier is my mom now? I mean, you know what though? A big house is probably not enough to make her feel good, considering that Bethany has, Bethany has been taken. That's no fun at all. So I'm sure she's actually probably very depressed in a sense, but I don't know what they're going to do to Bethany. I don't know if they're going to silence her or...
Oh, there you are. I've been looking everywhere for you, Messiah. If only you humans didn't all look the same.
Oh, what are you looking for me for?
I was called to the keep on important business, Bodahn.
Yes, I was hoping to catch you before you arrived. I came to deliver this to you, the last of the proceeds from all that treasure you found in the Deep Roads.
Oh.
It seems your friend Varric found a buyer after all, yes? Quite well done.
I can put this to good use.
Of course. Always happy to help. Before I go, may I simply say how grateful I am that you've allowed my boy to stay in your home. I said I would repay you for saving Sandal's life, and I shall serve you faithfully. It is good to know he is safe.
Oh, I didn't know that Sandal was living with me, but it's actually incredibly convenient that he is living with me, because now I can do my enchanting and whenever I want. So that's awesome.
Let me guess. This was Mother's idea?
As you say, yes. I'll leave you to your adventures. Your mother asks that you return to the mansion when you have a chance.
I'm going right now, trust me. Finding home is our quest here. The Amel's Hightown mansion has been restored. Bodahn suggests returning there as soon as possible. You better believe it. That's exactly what I'm about to do. I'm so excited. Oh, wait, if we go back 50 sovereigns, that's quite a bit. So we made all of our gold back, essentially. But we didn't get excess other than what we spent. So we just got the gold back that we had already spent, and as well as some of the other gear that we picked up and things like that. But let's increase our strength. And we're getting close to being done here, but we're not quite done yet. So let's go ahead and boost our disperse ability. And let's get to the new home. I really am looking forward to it.
Oh, there's been so much trouble in Kirkwall.
So is this this is now the new Hawk Estate here? I didn't expect it to be here, but here it is. There's also a quest here on the map. If we look at that, that's another quest. Yevon, I don't know who that is. I'll find out eventually. But let's look at the... Okay, I'm kind of pumped. I hope I'm not overhyping it. It might not be as grand as I think, but we'll see. Oh, that is nice. This is a huge upgrade. Aw. My Babari hanging out by the fire. Oh, beautiful loot. I love the research table. Notes. Oh, that's where my notes are, yeah. Very spacious. Love it. Love it. What? Wow. Look at me. Wow. How about that? Looking all cozy.
You've settled in nicely.
It's been hard work to get here.
Indeed. Still, more coin never hurts, right? Say, if someone wanted to pass some work your way...
I'm retired.
So, how can I be of service this time?
Someone's trying to be a guard. Poorly. Remember Emmerich, the Templar? He wants your help, and some sort of official sanction.
Official sanction?
For his investigation. He's convinced that every random murder in the past few years is connected, and he won't be quiet.
Every random murder is connected?
Seems like it should be easy to prove if there are bodies.
Kirkwall isn't the safest place. That doesn't mean everything terrible is related. There's no sense to that. Can't be.
Okay.
You don't think it's worth investigating?
I have. He even convinced one of my lieutenants to raid the Dupuis mansion. Nothing there. You wouldn't believe how much ass I had to kiss after that. Bloody hobbyist constable. Why can't he spend his declining years building a boat or something?
Okay.
I seem to recall he had some good leads.
Then you won't mind chasing his threads. If it leads somewhere, I'll pick it up. Right now, he's just distracting my men. He's in the gallows. Do what you can. Thanks, Hawk. I'll try not to make a habit of this.
Yes, please. Well, oh, that's cute. He's rolling around. But I mean, the least I can do is speak to him and say, "Hey, what are you talking about, man? Like, maybe if I just talk to him, I'll get a better idea of what's going on." Now, at the moment, there's 100 things for me to do. I've got letters to read, orders, potion orders. I want to speak to my mom. Right now, I'm just going to speak to the inhabitants of the house at the moment.
It's strange living here again. My childhood home. Now owned by my child. It's not something I could have imagined when I was a little girl staring out this window. I'm still grateful you used your money from the expedition to buy back the estate. I feel like an Amel again.
I'm going to make the name Hawk one to be proud of in this city.
I don't doubt it. Your father would have said that, with that exact look too. I just wish we could all be together as a family one more time. I visited Bethany at the Circle. She seems happy enough.
Really?
I guess I just need to start finding you a suitable wife.
Whoa. Well, I kind of have somebody in mind. Well, it's good that at least she said that Bethany is all right. Bethany's like happy or something, which I kind of am surprised about. I'm going to check on these guys.
If you need any enchantments, I'm sure my boy would be happy to help.
Okay.
Enchantment!
Just
I can make it for you.
Yeah, I'm glad I saved him. And actually, you know, now that you mention it, this Mountain Father's Haft. Oh, okay, I don't have any weapon runes. Let me go back.
Something nasty in the woodshed.
Wait, he saw something nasty in the woodshed? There's also some other... I can see some quest markers up here on my mini-map. I assume up the stairs there, but if I examine this... What is this if I examine this?
Ah, this statue. Wait, where did I get this statue?
I have seen that statue before. I don't exactly remember where it's from either. I thought I saw it... Did I see it in the Deep Roads? Or did I see it in one of the estates? I don't remember. Or like in Hightown somewhere. I'm not sure. This is probably where... Oh, no, that's a drink. I think I can have a few sips of something.
Fenris said Daenerys left this at the mansion.
Oh, Daenerys left it. Why can I examine it?
Sorry, I was expecting treasure, not spiders. Get well soon. Love, Isabela. Why do I let her drag me into these things?
Oh, that's right. There was something that she wanted to talk to me about. She was looking for... If I'm trying to remember, she was looking for something. Oh, okay. So this is DLC. This is the Memento of Mark of the Assassin. I think it's DLC. If it's not DLC, then let me know in the comments.
Best keep Isabela's books on the top shelf. Don't want to scar Sandal.
Oh God. Yeah, these are the DLCs. Okay, which I will be doing them, just so you know. But I think I'm supposed to wait until Act 3. I think. I don't know what I'm doing in this game, so if I'm wrong about that, let me know. Is there anything else I need to look at? History of Kirkwall, Chapter 2. Oh my God, I've been looking for this everywhere. Okay, so if we look at our codex, I have been waiting to collect all of the chapters of the history of Kirkwall, and I said that once I collected all the chapters, then I would read them back to back to back, and I would read all 4 chapters. So I'm not going to do it right this moment, but I will eventually read all 4 chapters when I get to a good spot.
I shouldn't intrude.
Why not? I mean, I guess normally I don't intrude in people's rooms, but still, like, why the...
All right, so she said to look at the crest sideways, then cover the... Sweet maker! Isabela! Ah, I can't unsee that.
Wait, what? What's going on with this? Yeah, I have no idea what they're talking about. I don't know.
Maker's breath. Put some clothes on, man.
Oh, is there someone out there naked? That's weird. And this door, where does this lead? Ooh, this is my bedroom. Man, there's so much here. There's a chest. Finery. Okay, I'll take it. A book?
So much has happened since we got here. I'm glad I've got it all written down.
Oh, so this is like my personal journal that I keep track of everything that's happened to me.
Isabela seemed disappointed that she didn't find anything worth gossiping about. Snoop.
Why is Isabela all over my house? Which is fine with me, but I'm just curious.
Oh, I think I'll let Sandal empty that.
Is that what's in there? I don't understand. Oh, is that where... I don't know where that is.
Poor Prince. I told him to stay off the bed.
Okay, so there's just these little comments. I thought there would be more to what's going on here. What is the finery that I picked up? I picked up something called finery? What is that? If I put that on, what does that do? Nothing? Huh. Okay, well, I think that about does it for that. I think the next thing we need to do is we need to get into doing some actual speaking with people.
Well, a letter arrived for you.
Oh.
It's on the desk. That's where I'll put messages which come while you're out.
Yeah, here's the writing desk. Okay, so let's look and see what letters we made. Oh my God. This is a lot of stuff. I'm going to do one thing at a time. There's like so many. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so there is 12 quests And they may be quests, I don't know. I'm going to do one at a time. Just do one at a time. Okay, so starting with the first one, I don't know if this is the best order to do them in, but I don't know. I'm just going to do them that way for now. Greetings. I hope this letter finds you well. I've often thought of you in the past 3 years. Without your kindness, my Fenrir would have been long since sold to slavers. Instead, he has thrived and begun to master his magic. But now his nightmares have caught up with him, and neither the Keeper nor the first enchanter know how to help. I don't know where else to turn. Please come to my home in the alienage. I will be waiting to speak with you. Thank you again for the compassion you have shown Fenrir in the past. Sincerely yours, Ariani. Yes, I think I could be getting confused, but I think this is the character where I let him go, Fenrir. I think I let him go into the, like his father was looking for him, but I let him go into the Dalish camp, instead of like taking him to the wardens or anything like that. So we'll accept that, and like I said, I'm going to do one at a time. But let's leave here. Thedas calendar? We can read this. What is Thedas calendar? Yeah, I definitely need to learn more about how the calendar works. For most good folk, the details of our calendar have little purpose. It is useful only for telling them when the Summer Day Festival will be held, when the snows are expected to begin, and when the harvest must be complete. The naming of the years are a matter for historians and taxmen, and few, if pressed, could even tell you the reason that our current age is named after dragons. Okay. It is 930 Dragon Age, the 30th year of the 9th age since the crowning of the Chantry's first divine. Each age is exactly 100 years, with the next age's name chosen in the 99th year. The scholars in Val Royeaux advise the Chantry of portents seen in that 99th year, and Chantry authorities pore over the research for months before the divine announces the name of the imminent age. The name is said to be an omen of what is to come, of what the people of Thedas will face for the next 100 years. The current age was not meant to be the Dragon Age. Throughout the last months of the Blessed Age, the Chantry was prepared to declare the Sun Age, named for the symbol of the Orlesian Empire, which at that time sprawled over much of the south of Thedas and controlled both Ferelden and what is now Navarra. It was to be a celebration for Orlesian imperial glory. But, as the rebellion in Ferelden reached a head and the Battle of River Dane was about to begin, a peculiar event occurred. A rampage, the rising of a dreaded high dragon. Dragons had been thought practically extinct since the days of the Navarran dragon hunts, and they say that to see this great beast rise form the frostback. Okay, there's a typo. It says form, but it's supposed to say from. And they say that to see this great beast rise from the frostbacks was both majestic and terrifying. As the rampage began and the high dragon decimated the countryside in its search for food, the elderly divine Faustian II abruptly declared the Dragon Age. Some say the divine was declaring support for Orlais in the battle against Ferelden, since the dragon is an element of the Dufeil family heraldry of King Migrin, the so-called usurper king of Ferelden. Be that as it may, the High Dragon's rampage turned towards the Orlesian side of the Frostback Mountains, killing hundreds and sending thousands more fleeing to the northern coast. The Ferelden rebels won the Battle of River Dane, ultimately securing their independence. Many thus think that the Dragon Age will come to represent a time of violent and dramatic change for all of Thedas. It remains to be seen. From the studious theologian by Brother Genetivi, Chantry Scholar, 925 Dragon. So basically a dragon rose in the 99th year of the Blessed Age, I believe, is the previous age. And that's where we got our name, because of the rise of the dragons.
That dog. Well, maybe chew marks add character to the piece.
So if it's currently 930, that means it's been 930 years since the beginning of the first divine of the Chantry. But yeah, let's go and hang out with. Oh my God, I can't pick her anymore. She's grayed out. Look, she's got a costume on. She says she's happy. I don't see how she could be. She's been an apostate all her life, but I guess I'll take her at her word. I mean, I don't know, but oh boy. So there's our estate. We have letters, but we're not going to look at every letter. You know what? Before I go, I should probably set a particular one as active. There's secondary quests. I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these and talk to Varric at the pub. I think that's what I'll do. Oh, there's prime suspect as well. Speak to Emmerich in the gallows. Oh yes, that was for Aveline. So we'll do that. Right now, we're going to kind of skip back and forth. So at the moment, let's go for plans for the future and mark that as active, and then we'll do prime suspect. I want to do these companion quests sort of intermittently, sporadically, as we go through Act 2, not all at once. So let's go plans for the future. So we got to go to Lowtown's Hanged Man Pub.
You keep staring at me. Is it my eyes again?
You're very lanky for an elf. I like lanky.
From what I gather, you like a lot of things.
Nonsense. But when I see something I like, I go after it.
Do you intend to go after me, then?
Will you take off all that spiky armor you're wearing?
It's been known to happen.
Then forget it.
Oh, wait, what? Ugh, gosh, man. Fenris is gonna steal Isabela from me. And that's kind of messed up, bro. Alright, so let's level them up. Let's get Isabela leveled up. She's doing good on her dexterity. Let's keep her high on cunning, I think. Her critical damage is now at 91%. Love to see that. Let's confirm it and make sure she's maxed out on this. Fenris, let's give him plenty of strength. And I guess let's just go all strength. And make him a better battle master. He's got a new passive now, Second Wind. Or it's an active ability, right? Yeah, it's an activated ability, so there you go. He can do that now. And oh, he's got 6 points, so let's increase his magic pretty good and give him a lot more willpower. He needs that to become better. Let's confirm. And we're working on his healing, so let's give him the Glyph of Binding, and let's also the Glyph of Repulsion. Maybe that'll help his healing abilities. Okay, so everyone is leveled up. We got an achievement, Weapon Master. I don't know why. But let's get to Lowtown and see what Varric has to say, if he has to say anything.
The Hanged Man. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
Yeah, let's go.
Are you one of them?
Oh, I can speak to Isabela as well. I can speak to both Isabela and Varric. So that's probably what we'll do.
What duties
The Seekers
did you
of
have?
Truth?
As a slave, I mean.
Not this again.
I heard that Tevinter slaves are kept oiled so they glisten. Did your master oil you up? Did you glisten for him?
I was his bodyguard.
Always close at hand. Always within reach. Glistening.
Jesus.
You have an entire story written in your head already, don't you?
Okay, well, I guess Isabella's not going to be mine, and Fenris is not going to be mine either, because they seem like they're perfect matches for each other. Bummer. But here we go. We see that the Seekers of Truth here, I'm not going to pick it up. There's so many things to do. I'm going to just do one thing at a time. So let's do Varric. Alright, Varric, what's going on?
Just tell me if you hear more rumblings from the coterie about protection. Blondie's got enough trouble. Let me ask you something, Hawk. You made it into Hightown. I'd expect anyone else to get complacent, but you must have plans.
No plans yet. I'm simply trying to look out for my mother.
After everything that happened with Bethany, that's probably good thinking. To be honest, I thought there might be a chance you'd want to go back to Ferelden now that things have calmed down. It's good to hear you're sticking around.
I mean, it's tempting.
Nothing's been set in stone.
Well, think about staying. Kirkwall's boring without you. So, we've got a whole city-state full of trouble to get into. Shall we get started?
Okay, so Varric is pissed at me, apparently, +10. Codex updated, and quest completed. Well, I guess that's all there was to that, but there was a codex entry. Okay, so it looks like we got a character update to Bethany after the Deep Roads. Okay, so let's get an idea of what's going on with Bethany and how she feels. Bethany communicates often with her family since entering the circle, and she is adjusting to her new life with ease? That's surprising. For the first time, she can study magic without watching over her shoulder. I mean, okay. After passing her much-delayed harrowing, she took a senior position within the circle, teaching and mentoring the newest apprentices. Really? She has 0 experience being in the circle, but she immediately becomes a senior person. Bethany is surprised at how many Templars are honest Andrastians, who believe they serve the Maker and the people by keeping mages from using blood magic. However, this up-close look at the Templars has also shown her the abuses that inevitably occur when one group of people is given life and death power over another. Bethany supports the circle as it is, but this grows harder as Knight Commander Meredith clamps down more tightly. Yeah, I mean, she supports the circle as it is. That's huge. The fact that she supports the circle having this life or death power over her, I mean, I guess if she's, you know what, if they're not mistreating their mages, but it sounds like they are mistreating their mages, because she said Templars have also shown her the abuses that inevitably occur. So I don't see how she's happy, but at least she can practice her magic without, you know, at least she knows that she's within the proper place to do it. But then there's Varric after the Deep Roads. Bianca sends her regards. Bartrand vanished after the Deep Roads expedition, and Varric had to divert his attention from searching for his wayward brother to keeping the now abandoned family businesses from falling apart. Varric now occupies his brother's seat in the Dwarven Merchants Guild, technically. He rarely attends guild meetings and is hardly ever seen actually occupying the chair in their hall that belongs to House Tethras. He prefers to run the Tethras financial empire from his suite at the Hanged Man, and he never replies to his mail. Jesus, he's hardly involved at all, really. Okay, well, that's that bit of interesting lore there. We kind of get an update. Surprised that Bethany is, like that. We will also speak to Isabela down here. And before we speak to Isabela, I just want to show you kind of where they stand with me. So Bethany is right here dead in the center. She hasn't moved very much at all. Fenris, he's moved slightly toward the negative. Anders is more towards my friend. And then I will check the others just to show you where they are at relationship-wise. And I'm sure that there are ways to make it so that, Bethany is all the way friend or all the way rival by this point or very close, but I've never played the game before, so I don't know how to optimize choices to make sure that they are a friend or that they are a rival, which is good. I don't want to know how to optimize the choices because I don't want that to influence the way I play. But let's talk to Isabela and see what she has to say.
Isabela, you look well.
Are you talking about the flush on my cheeks? It must be the whiskey. Do you remember the relic I told you about? The one I need to find? I've been following a lead. I'm so close I can taste it.
Isn't that what you said last time?
Oh, you mean when I went digging for that stash?
Yes, that turned out to contain several badly written poems and an old boot.
It could have contained the relic. I just thought I'd let you know that I may soon be taking you up on that offer of help.
Ooh, let's try.
Do I get a kiss from the feisty temptress when I present her with the hard-won prize?
If you want. I'll even let you choose where I plant it.
Oh my god. That's so much further than what I was going for. I was just going for a simple kiss, and she went way past that line. Oh, shoot. Plus 25. Would you look at that? Codex updated and quest completed. So, that put her really far ahead. That's crazy. I didn't expect that. She went full in, so she's clearly into me a little bit. She's definitely at least a little into me because I was like, oh, well, how about a kiss or whatever? And she's like, oh, I'll let you know where I'll do it. It's like, oh my god. Jesus. This YouTube video is not safe for little children. Okay. Isabela after the Deep Roads. Isabela spent the past several years trying to track down the relic that she lost in the shipwreck. She believes that it's still in Kirkwall, though why she thinks so is a mystery. Despite her insistence that she's keeping a low profile to avoid her old employer, Castellian, Isabela seems to go out of her way to cause trouble. Recently, one of her duels evolved into a bar brawl that then spilled out into Lowtown, involving over 20 people. The fracas caused a great deal of damage to several merchant stalls. Isabela spent the next 2 weeks in the brig. Really? Captain Guard Aveline allowed her release, but not before extracting a promise that Isabela would not duel on public property again. Whether Isabela actually keeps this promise remains to be seen. My goodness, getting into all kinds of trouble, fighting patrons.
What's a speed, Griffin?
Come on, Isabela.
Do they zip around Thedas, terrorizing Darkspawn with their lightning reflexes?
Okay.
Speed, Griffin.
Now, I promised that I would read that Kirkwall lore, so let's go ahead and read that Kirkwall lore. I'm going to do it right here in front of this little fire here. After I read the lore book, I'm going to let's see, we can do, I don't want to do the companions. We'll do the prime suspect with Speak to Emmerich and the Gallows. So that's what we're going to do next after we read that bit of lore. We're going to follow up on Aveline that talked about a guy that, you know, thinks that there's someone connected. Somehow all the murders in the city are connected. We'll do that next. Okay, but first, Isabela... nope, not that. What am I doing? We're going to lore. Okay, so history of Kirkwall. This is going to be long. There's 4 chapters. There are timestamps in the description. If you just want to skip ahead, you can do that if you want. But I enjoy this, so let's get to understand Kirkwall a little bit better. It's difficult for many to comprehend today, but there was a time when Kirkwall was believed to be the very edge of the world. Well, that's already interesting. We've already started off with an incredibly interesting bit, a sentence right there. It was Amerius, then, named after its founder, Magister Amerius Craven, and it was but one outpost on the very fringe of the Tevinter Imperium. There, the Magister's serfs worked the quarries for the jetstone not needed for the mighty temples of Minrathos. After a slave rebellion nearly burned the temple to the ground in the great city, it was determined that a center for the slave trade would need to be established well away from the more civilized parts of the Imperium. Wow. So basically, there was like a there was a slave rebellion that burned the temple, or nearly burned a temple down, and so they wanted to have a base of operations for slaves that is far away from civilization. And that's why Kirkwall was probably chosen, because it was the edge of the world, or so they say. though this account may be exaggerated since the notorious Archon Venarius Isar narrowly escaped assassination at the hands of an elven slave at the time. Because the new slave outpost would become a wealthy beyond imagining, competition among prospects reportedly took over 20 years to resolve, resulting in great bloodshed in the frontier, well away from the Archon's eyes. Magister took up arms against Magister, mostly in the form of small armies of serfs and mercenaries. Over half the slaves in existence allegedly died in these battles before Emerius was finally chosen, thanks to the marriage of Craven's son to the Archon's daughter. Within a mere decade, the mighty fortress was erected on the cliffs where Kirkwall now stands. Over 1 million slaves passed through its gates before the Imperium eventually fell. An unimaginable number by today's standards. The Craven family itself became patrons of the next 3 Archons and was one of the driving forces behind the extension of the Imperial Highway into the Ferelden Valley, a move that would cost them considerable political influence over the resistance of the Alamari tribes. During its height, Emerius was a jewel to rival the mightiest of the Imperial cities and the greatest center of civilization outside of Tevinter. So basically, because of this slave operation that was here, it ended up gaining a lot of money, and so it became a rich city actually. So it's blood money, but that's how it became so prominent. As the Imperium's borders slowly receded after the devastation of the First Blight and the subsequent barbarian invasion, many outposts in the area, known today as the Free Marches, were cut off from centers of power. Numerous warlords tried consolidating the region into a single kingdom, but resistance prevailed. Emerius held out for almost a century until it fell for a slave revolt in 25 Ancient. It was not the first such revolt Emerius suffered, but it was the last. So 25 Ancient, as we learned early, we didn't learn this about the Thedas calendar, but this means 25 years before the first year of the First Age. That's what I think it means anyway. It started when an Arlamari slave named Raiden began earning popularity and power by pushing for better conditions. Raiden's growing influence prevented the Magisters from touching him, but eventually they had him poisoned. Furious, a group of Raiden's supporters stormed the gallows and were massacred, and so began a bloody year-long rebellion. Okay, so there's another rebellion here. The city burned, and wealthy Hightown was sacked. The Magisters hung before the cheering crowds. Oh, Jesus. Emerius assumed the new name of Kirkwall, Kirk meaning black, after its jetstone cliffs. Oh. The new city plunged into anarchy for over a decade, and its defenses fell into ruin. Kirkwall has been conquered many times since, the city's own independence suffering since the freeing of its slaves. Oh, so it became an independent city, but then it became conquered by tons of different people. This is from Kirkwall, the City of Chains, by Brother Genetivi. Just written a few years ago, 924 Dragon, about 6 years ago, right? Okay, the Qunari first thundered into Kirkwall in 756 Storm Age, during the last of the new Exalted Marches. The collected nations of Thedas were attempting to drive the Qunari from the northern mainland once and for all. Qunari armies were on the retreat, but in a desperate gamble, their fleet circled around the Amaranthan coast and landed a great force near the Marcher city of Ostwick. Their plan was to overwhelm the Marcher cities of Starkhaven and Kirkwall, Starkhaven to block the roads leading north, and Kirkwall to block ships on the Waking Sea coming from Orlais, all in an effort to deny supplies to the Thedas armies assaulting Ravane. The attack on Starkhaven eventually failed, but Kirkwall was attacked in a daring night raid where the Qunari used their leashed Cerebos mages in an unprecedented display of sorcery. The walls were torn down and the city was taken, and for the next 4 years, Kirkwall endured the most brutal occupation in its history. So that's interesting because it tells us that the Qunari have owned this city before, in a sense. The Qunari have, this has been their inhabitants before in history, and maybe that's what the Qunari are doing these days. That's what they're trying to do, maybe. Writings from that time are scarce. It was not until after the city was freed that the Qunari's deeds came to light. Children taken from families, forced conversion to the Qunari religion, and brutal labor camps. It's ironic that the old slave quarters of Lowtown, still intact after centuries, provided the perfect means for the Qunari to control the city's people. When the famous Orlesian chevalier Sir Michael Lafayette, that's so hard for me, guys, Sir Michael Lafayette rode into the city after finally defeating the Qunari defenders, he wrote, "Kirkwall is full of people with empty eyes that have had all independent thought driven from them." Jesus. When Lafayette was appointed the city's first viscount by the emperor in 760 storm, he made it his mission to undo the religious conditioning. The Lafayette bloodline remained popular enough that when the city finally rebelled against Orlesian rule in 805 Blessed, Viscount remained the enduring title for Kirkwall's rulers despite its origin. From Kirkwall, The City of Chains by Brother Genitivi, 924 Dragon. Yeah, so the term Viscount actually comes from Orlais. It comes from their hierarchy and their naming conventions. The Thrinhold family assumed its foreboding control of the city at the very onset of the Dragon Age, less than a week after Merrick Theron retook the Ferelden throne from Orlais. Yeah, so this is when Merrick took the throne, which is now the current king. Alistair, this would be Alistair's father, I believe, or grandfather. No, father. This is Merrick's father, this is Alistair's father. Since this was followed by a civil war in Antiva, the much maligned Three Queens era, and a coup in the Tevinter Imperium, many thought that the Dragon Age would bring devastating change. Perhaps this was a hasty estimate, but it was true of Kirkwall. Viscount Chivalry Thrinhold was a vicious thug who took power through the campaign of intimidation, and his son Perrin, who succeeded him in 914 Dragon, was even worse. Taxes were crippling, and Perrin Thrinhold used the ancient chains extending from the Twins, standing at Kirkwall's harbor, unused since the new Exalted Marches, to block sea traffic and charge exorbitant fees for Orlesian ships. The Empire threatened invasion following the closure of the Waking Sea Passage, and for the first time, the Chantry used the Templars to pressure the Viscount. Until that point, the Templars had done nothing to counter the Thrinholds, even though, as the largest armed forces in Kirkwall, they could have. Knight Commander Guylane's only written comment was in a letter to Divine Beatrix III. "It is not our place to interfere in political affairs. We are here to safeguard the city against magic, not against itself." The Divine, as a friend to the Emperor, clearly had other ideas. In response, Viscount Perrin hired a mercenary army, forced a showdown with the Templars. They stormed the gallows and hung Knight Commander Guylane, igniting a series of battles that ended with Perrin's arrest and the last of his family's rule. The Templars were hailed as heroes, and even though they wished to remain out of Kirkwall's affairs, it was now forced upon them. Knight Commander Meredith appointed Lord Marlowe Dumar as the new Viscount in 921 Dragon, and she has remained influential in the city's rule ever since. Okay, so the Templars actually were able to take out Perrin and his rule over the city, and Knight Commander Meredith, which is I guess the successor after Knight Commander Guylane, appointed Lord Marlowe Dumar as the new Viscount. Okay, well that's good. I mean, that all sounds like good stuff, but so there we go. We have read all of the Kirkwall stuff. So I think at this point we can go to Prime Suspect and speak to Emmerich in the gallows. But I suppose we'll do that next time because it's actually been sort of a long episode. So today we really just kind of got used to the new city that we're in, or well, the new home that we're in, and talked to some of our companions, read a little bit of lore. Very cozy, relaxing episode. Very much enjoyed it.
You think I'm made of coin?
3 bits? Come on, buddy. Alright, anyway. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time.